Some pains arrive quietly and sit patiently at the table of love. Jason and Ivonne were two lovebirds whose marriage was barely 8 months old. To the outside world, their union appeared peaceful, the kind people admired from a distance. Laughter still echoed through their home. Affection still warmed their nights. Hope still sat comfortably at their table. But marriage, like a river, can look calm on the surface while dangerous currents move beneath. One evening, Ivonne returned home holding a brand new iPhone, the kind Jason had never bought for himself. When he asked her about it, she smiled lightly and said she had saved her NYSC allowance and added some extra money. Jason believed her. Trust, after all, is the first language of love. Ivonne had only recently completed her National Youth Service. Jason had pleaded with her to serve in Abuja so they could build their new life together, but she chose Lagos instead. Jason accepted her decision, believing that love sometimes bends and sometimes sacrifices. After her service year ended, Ivonne returned home, but not entirely. Something had changed. She grew distant, less concerned about her marriage. At times, she would leave the house without explanation and return 2 or 3 hours later. "I just went for a stroll," she would say. Some days, she disappeared completely, especially when Jason was away, staying at her parents' house for days, sometimes weeks. Jason reported these troubling behaviors to her family more than once, but they showed no concern. Instead, they stood firmly by her side, questioning nothing. What Jason did not know then was that these absences created room for another man, a man of wealth and influence, a man known as Chief Dumelu. And so, without noise, without warning, the cracks in the marriage began to widen. One evening, while Ivonne stood in the kitchen stirring a pot, her phone rang on the table. Jason glanced briefly, just a passing look, but one name pierced his heart like a thorn hidden in cloth. Chief Dumelu. The phone rang unanswered. Ivonne let it die in silence. Another day, while she was in the bathroom, her phone vibrated again. Jason saw only a few words before the screen dimmed. "I am missing you now." He read just enough to understand everything. And yet, he said nothing. He chose silence over scandal. But silence does not stop truth. It only delays it. Later, Jason found the number saved under another name and made a quiet call. His voice was calm, though his heart was not. "Please stay away from my wife," he said, and ended the call. By then, Ivonne was already pregnant. When the child was born, Jason named him Brian and loved him without reservation. He carried him, fed him, and watched him grow with pride. But as the boy began to walk and talk, something unsettled Jason's spirit. The child bore a striking resemblance to Chief Dumelu, the same face Jason had once seen on a WhatsApp profile picture. Still, Jason loved Brian like his own blood. When the boy turned just over 2 years old, Jason made a decision that shattered the last piece of hope inside him. He ordered a DNA test. The result came back cold, final, unforgiving. Jason was not the biological father. As the truth continued to unfold, Jason discovered that Ivonne had been involved with Chief Dumelu even before their marriage. The chief, a powerful man in Nigeria's oil and gas industry, married with grown children, had quietly supported Ivonne and her family with money for years. Jason's family called for a meeting between both families, but the gathering bore no fruit. Yvonne's family rejected the DNA result outright and refused to conduct another test. Instead, they turned their anger toward Jason. "You did not provide enough," they said. "A woman must survive." They saw nothing wrong. It was agreed that the marriage would end. Yvonne's family returned the dowry and the items collected during the traditional rites. The day they came to pack her belongings, the house felt like a courtroom without justice. Elders arguing, voices raised, neighbours watching in silence. Jason stood still, heartbroken, emptied, and speechless. What pain is greater than raising a child you believed was yours, only to learn the truth later? In Abuja, they say, not all betrayals shout. Some smile, marry you, and sleep in your house. And so the young man learned a hard proverb of this generation. Love can forgive many things, but paternity fraud breaks a man in places no one sees. This is not just a story. It is a warning told softly, like folklore, so those who listen may survive.